You are listening to an exclusive on PodHub Network. Your city, your podcast.
Hello and welcome back to another episode of Back to the Burgh, presented by the PodHub Network. My guest today is from Beaver, PA, and has become a TikTok sensation, amassing over 518,000 followers. Please welcome to the program, Ben Ledbetter. Ben, what's up, buddy?
Not much. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, no problem. We went to high school together. You were a few years younger than me. Your sister, I have some classes with your sister, so I knew her a little better.
Mm-hmm.
What was it like just growing up in Beaver from your perspective?
Well, I live in Moon now. My
Okay.
dad got a job my junior year of high school, the AD at Moon, and we moved after I graduated high school.
Mm-hmm.
But Beaver's, it's a lot different from Moon, I'll tell you. Moon is right by the airport, so when you wanted to go to like a big chain restaurant, like sit down to eat, you'd have to go to like Applebee's and Monaca or whatever. But now it's literally like 2 minutes from my house, so it's a lot convenient that way, but it doesn't have the downtown feel to it, which I love doing that in Beaver. Just call up a buddy, go to Sincerely Yogurt or whatever you want to go, you can do that. Beaver, as much as I loved Beaver, there's also, cons to Beaver, like not having the restaurants like I said before. But I mean, Beaver was great. I love growing up in Beaver, have so many friends still there. Beaver was, just an awesome place to grow up and experience, as a little kid.
Yeah, so you mentioned the shops and the restaurants on the main street. Where was your place to hang out? Where did you go all the time with your friends?
It honestly just depended on the day. I think I love Cafe Colace. They had like those Italian iced sodas. Those things were amazing. I love those. I love those growing up. But probably Pizza Joe's was the main place.
Yes.
Like Saturday. I remember I think I was like 7th or 8th grade. It was me and a few other my buddies. We went to Pizza Joe's before the homecoming game on Saturday. I think, and I'm sure you were playing in that game since you're a few years ahead of me.
Yeah,
but
probably.
Pizza Joe's was always a spot. Their pizza is so good. I haven't been there in a long time, but I love Pizza Joe's.
Yeah, I used to hang out at Pizza Joe's all the time too. Me and my buddies, we would go down there. We would literally just spend hours in there.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And that was the place to be, like you said, around 7th, 8th grade. But I wanted to point out the pizza. Growing up, the pizza was great, right?
Yeah, amazing.
But now, I think if I went back, I'd be like, what the hell am I eating? It's so greasy. It's super
soggy.
cheesy.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
Like,
soggy.
It's like soggy. Like I had it. I think it was like freshman year of college. I went back. I was living in Beaver still my freshman year of college until the spring, and I went back just to I was like, I haven't had this in forever. It wasn't as good as I remembered it. I was like, like this is so like it's not amazing like I used to think it was. Like it's still good, but it's not like I don't know.
Our palates have matured.
Exactly, matured.
All right. So now let's talk about, you played sports obviously growing up.
Yeah.
What was your favorite sport to play?
Baseball, by a long shot.
Okay.
I was also better at baseball than the other sports, so I guess that helped a little bit. But
yeah, it always
baseball
helps.
For
whichever
sure.
one you're the best at, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So did you do any travel ball at all?
I didn't. I almost did 10th, 11th. I don't remember what grade it was. I almost did it, but then I don't like to be away a lot. I don't like to travel that much. And so I was like, I don't want to be gone long Saturdays. Yeah. There was a Steeltown Maulers. I don't know if you know what Alec Burgh is, but his dad is the coach of that team. And he came up to me, asked me if I wanted to play. Me and my dad talked about it. He decided not to. But I mean, looking back, I wish I would have, because I would have met other people and stuff. But you only live once, so you can't really go back and change things. But it's all right.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Well, I kind of touched on this with you before the show because I wanted to preface it. Growing up and being in high school in Beaver, me and you were kind of the same, just separated by a few years. We were both really quiet.
Yeah.
And I noticed in myself that once I got to senior year onto college, that's when I kind of broke out of my shell. And now I'm seeing that with you, and strictly from just seeing you on TikTok, obviously.
Yeah.
That's really the only contact I've had with you since high school is
Mhm.
on TikTok. And I've noticed you've really come out of your shell. What was that journey like for you? Because I feel like there's a lot of people that could take something away from this conversation and just, be a little more outgoing and just, just, I don't know, just get out of their shell. Because I know it was
Yeah.
big for me to get out of my shell.
I mean, I wasn't a shy kid. I was just reserved. I like kept to
Yeah.
myself a lot in high school, but I went originally when I went to college. I know we're going to talk about this in a little bit, but I went for sports broadcasting originally. I went to a camp between my junior and senior year. So summer before my senior year, I went to a sports announcing camp at Waynesburg, which is where I go now.
Yeah.
And that kind of like helped me, like, because before I was like really nervous when I was in a like presentation or whatever it might be. I was just really nervous to go up and talk in front of people. But doing that really helped me. And honestly, like I still was a little bit shaky. Like if you look at my old, really, really cringy TikToks, I seem like really like shy, really like unsure about it. But now I think TikToks honestly helped me like open my shell and be like more vocal. But on college too helped, making new friends and stuff. You got to go out of your comfort zone to talk to people. So yeah, I mean, I think I would sum up like that.
Yeah. So, do you still go to school for sports management
No, sports broadcasting.
or sports broadcasting? I'm
yeah,
sorry.
I'm marketing now, marketing major.
Okay.
So it's like business. Yeah, business side.
Okay, because I was gonna say so I went to school. I'm doing this, so I obviously went for digital media, um, and that's kind of what broke me out of my shell the most. Like you said, like in high school, I was like really shaky. Like the one thing I can remember is I had to do a presentation in an English class, and it was like a book report speech or whatever. And I was like, well, I'll do it on Willie Stargell. I love Willie Stargell. Like I know everything about Willie Stargell. And I get up there to do the report, and I froze. And I was like, holy crap. Like getting up in front of a classroom is so much different than just, spouting off stats to your dad or something.
Yeah.
And I think going to school for digital media and all that, wow, voice crack. Going to school for digital media helps with that to get over that. But also, I was forced to take a radio class, and you had to have a show, and you had to be on the air for at least an hour every week. And me being like the timid, like, I don't like the sound of my voice. I don't like this. Like, I don't like to talk to people. That is really what brought me out of my shell. So I think that's for you. It was TikTok, and for me, it was radio. You obviously have more eyes on you. I probably had two pairs of ears listening to me at Bethany College.
Yeah. I had to do radio too when I was a broadcast. So I did broadcasting my whole freshman year was broadcasting and electronic media, which is kind of like digital media.
Yeah.
But I had to do radio shows, so I guess that kind of helped me break out of the shell too. Talking. I mean, it was the Waynesburg radio, which I don't even think there's any like one person listening at all times. So like,
listen,
really,
I gotta when I learned you went to Waynesburg, and you said you went to school for sports media, I was like, this dude's legit. Because we were like being at Bethany College, like we knew you guys, like we were in the same conference and everything.
Yeah.
You guys had all the equipment we wanted. You guys had literally classes dedicated to like, okay, this is how you would report the news. This is how you would report sports. Like this is how you do this and that for media. We were so jealous of that because
well, our equipment was like from the 90s, and then
ours was from the 70s. So
that's great. But they just got updated equipment like my sophomore years, like the beginning of my sophomore years when they got updated equipment. They got like a new radio system. They got like new. It was like they were in HD and they went to 4K. So.
Oh wow.
No,
we're
still... it was SD to HD. It was SD to HD, I'm pretty sure. So it was like it looked like a 70s like TV. Like it was bad. I was like, whoa, am I like back in the like 70s? It was crazy. It was crazy.
Yeah, no, weird. For us, it was so our engineer, Mr. Dumas, love that guy. he would always tell us like, yeah, we got HD cameras and everything, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, okay. And I had a parent come up to me one time because for some reason I looked important. And they were like, hey, you do the broadcasting, right? I was like, yeah, yeah. They're like, we try to watch online and it's so like pixelated. And I'm like, well, we got HD cameras. And then I come to find out we have like no bandwidth to broadcast that stuff on the internet. So we got these HD cameras, they ain't doing jack shit.
Man.
It was a struggle being at Bethany
That's
College
crazy.
up in the woods, up in the hills of West Virginia, man.
I mean, in a way, Waynesburg and Bethany are a lot alike because they're in the middle of nowhere. It's like they just plop the college down in this random ass spot. And because Waynesburg, the closest like chain restaurant, like besides Bob Evans, we have Bob Evans like right by campus, but like we have to go like either a Washington or Morgantown to get like a big chain. So it's like weird because I come home like, oh, 2 minutes down the road I got Hermani's, I got all these different places I can go to, but it's like there I just whatever.
Yeah, whatever. No, for us it was a trip just to go get gas.
Yeah.
Like it literally took 15 minutes to go get gas. It was like you better have a quarter tank if you're going to get gas.
Holy crap.
We're way back there, man. It's literally Bethany is one street. That's the school and the town.
Wow, we're not that bad. We have like gas stations like right near campus, so we're fine, but that's crazy.
Yeah,
15 minutes for a gas station? Wow.
Loved it.
That's insane.
And then if you wanted to go to like Walmart or go to like a steakhouse or something, it was about a half-hour drive, 45 minutes.
Wow.
On these back roads that had like potholes and shit.
That's insane. I can't believe that.
It was bad, but I loved every second of it.
Well, I as much as I enjoy going to Waynesburg, the thing that I hate the most is the distance of places. Like there's like obviously like there's no parties, like we don't have house parties or anything like that, which is a little sucks. Like I turned 21 this month, like the 29th I turned 21, so it's like that's lit, but I can't really drink or anything, but it's whatever.
Yeah. So what was I was gonna keep talking about college. Oh yeah, so you're going to school for marketing now.
Yes.
Has anything you've learned from your marketing classes gone into your TikTok career? So I feel like they kind of go hand in hand. Obviously, marketing's a lot more business side, but you can bring that into your TikTok. So I'm wondering if you've done that at all.
Well, I got a brand deal. I have the bottle right here. It's the coldest water bottle, and I think that kind of helped me a little bit to know where to like.
No free ads.
Because like it's annoying where it's like, oh, this is the best water bottle on earth. Go to my that stuff's dumb. But like I just plop it in the back. Like I either like hold it up front before I take a video, plop it in the background, and just like, I guess that's a little like as like product placement.
Yeah, I've noticed a lot of people do that.
Yeah, there are
more of the just in the background than the people being like, "Hey, look at this water bottle."
Yeah,
I feel like if you shove it in people's faces, they're less enticed to go buy it.
People just like swipe up, like swipe, scroll, and like it's like that's dumb. I don't want to see that. Like, give me good content.
Yeah,
it's like that's annoying. I don't want people to do that. I mean, it's hard. It's hard to like know. Like I spent like a week just saying like I don't want to just like shove this in someone's face. So I found another dude that like had TikTok or had this water bottle on TikTok, and so he just like plop in the back. I was like, oh, that's easy. They like sent me a whole contract, and you just have to have like the label showing and a bunch of other stuff. And then I had put like a discount code in my bio if people want to buy it. So it was simple, but like at the same time, marketing kind of like helped me like get the help market the water bottle, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's talk about the number of followers you have.
Okay.
That's a lot. That's 500,000.
Yeah.
500,000, dude. That's crazy.
It is crazy.
What would you say was the reason you got to that number? Was it just putting out content after content after content? Was it just making sure you had quality content? Was it a combination of both?
Well, here's the thing. I downloaded TikTok because I think it was like beginning of my sophomore year of college. I was my friend's like, you need to download this app. Like, it was my roommate. He's like, it's like cool. Like, there's pranks and stuff. I was like, all right. And then I was just kind of like goofing around one day in quarantine. I got super bored. So I was like, let's make some content. And I just kept posting and posting and posting. And I reached like 10,000 by like, I think I downloaded in March. I got to 10,000 by late May. And then I got to 100K by July. And it just kind of like, I just kept kind of like, I kept trying different things because I'm like, I don't know what I want to do. Do I want to do like sports? Do I want to do this? Do I want to do that? I started off doing like kind of like comedy. It wasn't funny. Like it was awful. Like it was cringy. I went back and watched it a few days ago. I'm like, why did I ever do this? But one of the videos got like 800,000 views. So I'm like, well, I guess it wasn't that bad, but it was just really cringy. Like looking back at it.
Yeah.
And then I went from that to sports for a while. Then I switched to like kind of like factual, like cool, like fact videos. That got me like 250,000 of my followers just doing the factual videos. And now I'm back to sports because it's something where I don't have to try to make the content. And like, I love sports. Like,
exactly.
I can just naturally make it, and it doesn't seem like I'm forcing content out. So, I mean, how I got there, luck. I'll just put out there, luck. Because the algorithm is literally all luck. Yeah. There's like different ways you have a For You page and stuff, and it's all luck. There's no, like, obviously, like, your content has to be good, but there's like, it depends like how many people share the video, follow you, like the video. It's just this weird algorithm that's just completely random if videos go viral or not. It could be the best content in the world.
Yeah.
But I mean, it also helps to have a large audience like I do, I guess, too, to push that concept more. But
yeah, of course.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely like something that I'm proud of, something that like took time, but like just to have that many followers is honestly just really cool, and it's a blessing.
Yeah, so you said you just got lucky. And
yeah.
I listened to a podcast called Two Bears, One Cave. It's Bert Kreischer and Tom Segura, two very good comedians in my opinion. And Bert, I mean, he obviously made it a lot funnier than I'm going to. But he said, one of these days I wish Kevin Hart would just be like, I got here from luck. Because, Kevin Hart's always like, oh, I'd put my heart and soul in this, hard work, blah, blah, blah. It's like, and he was like, listen, when it comes to fame and especially the comedy business, it's all luck. And I think it's really cool of you to have the same testament of like, listen, I might be doing really hard work and like putting my all into this, but at the end of the day, it's all luck. I think people who can admit to it just being luck are way more humble than most people. Because if you're saying, oh, I got here from hard work, it's like, yeah, we know you put in the work, but it's like, who noticed? Who, like, whoever notices, that's all luck, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm. I agree 100%. I mean, it's like getting, I guess you want to call me famous, whatever, known. I guess we'll just go with known.
Yeah, we'll go with known.
We'll go with known.
Don't get too big of a head.
Yeah. I mean, people call me famous, but I don't like that. I think it's very cliche. It's just, I don't like the sound of it. I'm like, I'm not famous. No one like comes up to the street and says, yo, what's up? Like that's famous. I'm not that. But I think like, obviously, like you said, it takes like effort, but at the same time, like there's a lot of luck involved, which is, I'm lucky enough to have this following. Like, it's not like, it is part like talent. It is part like being interesting, like content creator, but at the same time, it's like the song 20% luck, 20% skill.
Oh,
that's
yeah.
Exactly. Like that's
the best hype song when we were in middle school.
Yeah. Before every football game, Belts would play that on the intercom in the stadium.
Wow, like, I'm surprised he played that, not Michael Jackson.
Well, he did that too, but that was on there too.
Those were the days. Oh my God. I have almost every Michael Jackson song stuck in my head because of Jeff Belts. He's
actually the assistant superintendent at Moon now.
Yeah, I saw that now that he's done coaching. I might actually look to get him on the podcast. That'd be really cool. I think I'd be intimidated. I was always intimidated by Belts.
Oh, me too. But like my dad's like friends with him at Moon, and so like he came over the other week, and like I was like, is this a Jeff Belts like that coached me? Like he is such a different person. It's like he's the most like genuine person, kind. He like asked me how school was going. I mean, he's really like nice guy to talk to. Like, I was like, wow, this like surprised me. Like, Jeff Belts is a great guy. Like, I loved him when he was the coach, but at the same time, it's weird seeing a different side of someone when they're not the coach.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So my one experience with him outside of school, I think it might have been like after my first semester of college, maybe even sooner. I don't know. But we were at Bowser's in Monaca, I think, or
Yeah.
Center. And we're in there and we see Belts at the bar eating a sandwich, just having a beer. And I'm like, he does that? Like he's just a normal person? Because it's like, in sports we could talk about like stoic figures and like people who just they have a way about them. And it might be stupid to say this, but Jeff Belts did a lot in his career in Beaver County. He's in the Beaver County Sports Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
He just has a way about him. It's kind of stoic.
He does. He's like a very, I guess, kind of like us, reserved dude. Like, he keeps to himself, and he holds all these records at Freedom for baseball and football. I think he holds a Geneva record for baseball. Yeah. And it's just crazy. I was like, this dude was a heck of an athlete when he was in college and high school, and like you wouldn't know by looking at him.
Yeah, he's always cool.
Like, I'm not gonna say he doesn't look. It's not like he doesn't look like an athletic dude, but like it's crazy. I think he holds a record for batting average, stolen bases, and most hits in a season in Geneva.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's crazy. I was like, I never would have guessed that. Like, he doesn't look like a super like speed dude, but it's kind of cool just like to see that.
I remember the joke whenever I was playing. Do you remember Coach Crossland?
No, he was gone by the time.
Probably, yeah, he was probably gone by the time he got there. Well, Coach Crossland, great dude. He was the throwing coach for the track team, but he also coached defensive ends. And he was a bigger dude. Like, he was round, like almost as round as me. And him and Coach Belts, they went to school together in Freedom, and then I think they also went to Geneva together. I could be wrong on the second part. But one day, Jeff Belts was coming up to the defensive guys, and, the linemen were over there too, and they start talking, and Coach Crossland goes, this big dude. He's just like, yeah, I used to be able to beat Coach Belts in a race in high school. And then Belts is like, you beat me by like a foot. And we were like, Coach Crossland beat you in a race? Like, you're like, and Belts is like the most athletic looking dude.
That's crazy.
You're talking to Coach Crossland, who's a very round fellow, very Santa Claus-esque. And he used to be a fucking stoic athlete. And we're like, holy shit.
That's insane. That's so funny. That's so funny.
Yeah, for sure. So I'm sure some people got bored with that conversation. It was a little Beaver insider.
Yeah, that was, yeah.
But I had to get it out there. Had to talk about Jeff Belts any chance I get. He's one of the best coaches I ever had.
Me too.
So moving on, we talked about college. We talked about TikTok a little bit. Let's talk about the Steelers. You talk about the Steelers a lot in your TikToks. Obviously, we're both from Western PA. That's kind of what the show's about, or else you wouldn't be here. So let's talk about, where did your fandom start? A lot of people say from birth, but when did you really know, like, hey, I believe black and gold?
I was really young. This 2005 is when they beat the Seahawks. I was a fan then. So before that, for like 3-4 years old, my dad tried to get me one Christmas to be a Bengals fan. He's from Cincinnati, so he's a huge, So I was like, no, like, I think they were probably like not good then either. So I was just like, I would be a Steelers fan. Like, I like these. I think it was like a color thing. Like, I liked the yellow when I was little. I like So I was like, I like this better. He's like, okay, nothing I can do about it. You can choose what you want to do. Like, he didn't force. The only team he forced me on was Ohio State. Like, I'm an Ohio State fan, but when it comes to Steelers, black and gold runs through my veins. I love the Steelers.
Yeah. Now, what about I'm sure you love the Pirates. You love.
Yeah, I love the Pirates too.
You love the Penguins.
Yep.
I want to hear
hockey's my least favorite sport out of the four, but yeah.
I want to hear your opinion on the Pittsburgh Pirates and the current state of the organization. I want to know your opinion.
When I saw that Josh Bell trade last week, I just was like, oh boy, here we go.
And it was on Christmas Eve, right? Christmas or Christmas Eve?
It was really close to Christmas Day. And I was just like, wow, what a good present the Pirates just gave me.
Yeah,
like,
it's like Merry Christmas.
Here we go.
You
2
lost your
pitchers for
franchise.
Josh Bell to the National. I was like, oh boy. Oh man. I love the Pirates. Like I try to go to like 3-4 games every year. I was probably the biggest Andrew McCutchen fan you'll ever meet. I still am. I love that dude. The thing, just not the player, but the person. He's a genuine person, very faithful to God. He's a great guy, and I loved it. Like he was the heart of Pittsburgh for 6-7 years, however long he was here for, and the dreads were awesome when he got those cut. I was like, he's about to like go, and he kind of did a little bit, but yeah. I mean, he's in Philly now, and he was balling out until he tore his ACL last year, which was a little bummer for him. But yeah.
Yeah. So
I love the Pirates.
To touch on Andrew McCutchen, I think he really, like, he was Pittsburgh. He embodied Pittsburgh. I think that's why everybody loved him so much. He told a story one time in an interview that he used to on Sunday day games, he would just walk across the Clemente Bridge to work. And like people would come up to him and be like, "Hey, have a good game today. Like, good luck at work." Like, But like that's the other thing about Pittsburgh is like with our athletes, like nobody's gonna get up in your face, be like, "Oh, can you sign this?" Unless like you're outside the stadium waiting. But like nobody does that to our athletes. I think that's why athletes love playing in Pittsburgh so much because they get their privacy.
I mean, I know I've heard stories from a lot of other, like just like articles I've read about players in other cities who have been like I can't go anywhere without being bothered. Like these fans always come up and shove stuff in my face to sign. It's really annoying. Yeah. But like I've seen, who did I see? I saw one of the Steelers in public. I think it was a while. Oh, it was Kobe Hamilton. I don't know if you remember him. I saw him at the airport from, I think it was from Georgia to Pittsburgh. I was coming back from vacation and the Steelers had just signed him. I met him and he was a really like cool dude. And I asked for a picture. I didn't ask for an autograph, but I like took a picture with him. He was really cool. Like I talked to him probably like for 20 minutes about like his like life and like where he went to college and stuff. And he was like a really genuine and cool dude. Like it was a really cool experience.
Yeah, I ran into Bill Cowher at the airport, Pittsburgh airport. I was on my way to Vegas for my 21st birthday. And I was with my aunt. She is the biggest Steeler fan you will ever meet. I don't think anybody could top her. And she looks at me, she goes, "Hey, Code, look who that is." And I look, I'm like, "Wait, who is that?" She goes, "That's Bill Cowher. How do you not know that?" Like she like slaps on the head. She's like, "That's Bill Cowher." And we're not trying to freak him out, and he's talking to people at the bar, he's being real social. And then we're about to leave, and I go, "Hey, Coach, can we get a picture?" And he's like, "Yeah, sure." And I go to take the picture. Right? I just found out that you can use like the buttons on the side here to take a picture, and like I'm shaking. I'm like, "Oh God, this is Bill Cowher. This dude's like in the Hall of Fame." And I go to take the picture. It's super blurry, and I'm like, "Oh, can we do another one?" And he gave me the chin. He goes, "Yeah, we can do another one." I can't even do it justice. But he gave me the chin and he was like, "Yeah, we can do another one." I was like, "Oh, uh-oh."
Oh, that's fantastic though.
I wrote a blog about that a while ago, but yeah,
where
I
was
had to
it?
bring it up. What's that?
Where was it?
It was at the airport, and we were at one of those dinky little, like, it wasn't even like an Applebee's or like a TGI Fridays. It was one of those off-brand Permane Brothers inside the airport. It was like, and that's the most Pittsburgh thing ever because he's from Pittsburgh, so like he just.
I always forget he's from Pittsburgh.
Yeah,
but
he was sitting there eating like a knockoff Permane sandwich, having a beer. It's the most Pittsburgh thing ever.
That's awesome. Yeah, he's like one of those dudes that I feel like's just like really like go with the flow, real genuine, and just doesn't really care.
Yeah, absolutely.
Honestly. I mean, he was a great coach for the Steelers, led them to the Super Bowl, and he retired after they won the Super Bowl, but props to him. To him. So that's awesome. That's a cool story.
Oh, yeah. That's one of my favorite stories to tell.
How long ago was that?
I'm 23. I'm about to be 24, so it's about 3 years ago.
Okay. That's really cool, though.
Yeah. So now let's talk about the current state of the Steelers. When this
All right.
podcast comes out, we won't know what had happened in the playoffs. I think it'll be 2 weeks from now.
Yeah.
So let's just talk about regular season, everything that happened. In my opinion, before I get your opinion, I want to say I think the Big Ben Revenge Tour was a success. That's the one big takeaway I'm taking from this season. I think he proved people wrong. He proved that he could still play. He didn't let the injury get in the way, and he did his thing.
Okay. Well, I agree with that to a sense. I think let's go first 9 games. First 9 games, he was better than I've seen him since like 2009.
Lights out.
Throwing the deep ball to Deontay Johnson on a dot, and he was dragging 3 guys on his back and throwing a dot to Claypool in the end zone. Like, he was just like, I was like, whoa, is this Big Ben like at 41 years old?
Vintage Ben.
It was. And I think I'm not even gonna blame him because I don't know who's calling the plays, but after they hit the Jaguars game, everything went downhill. And I don't know what happened, but the second half of the Colts game, I don't know what happened in that locker room at halftime, but that was the best football I saw them play all season. Like, literally all season. I think even better than that first half of the season. And he was just throwing the ball more freely. The play calls were opening up, and it was just awesome to see that. And I heard something that the Colts were calling their plays like at the line of scrimmage in the first half, and Claypool went up to Fietner during the first half. And he's like, he's calling out our plays. He's like, let's just keep running them. And he's like, let Ben call the plays. And so he's like, no, we'll go with the game plan. And they were down 17. Randy Fietner. I'm not a fan of him personally.
Me neither.
But they kept calling the plays out, and Ben would audible the play call at the line of scrimmage, and that's how they got the 21 points to win the game. And I was like, that's a really cool story, and it's good to hear that Ben isn't calling his own plays in that first half, because that was just idiotic play calling, in my opinion, in the first half. I mean, in my opinion, obviously they should run the ball more often, but the passing game worked, and I'm glad it did. I'm glad they got that win. They really needed it. And this week, they play the Browns in the wild card, and I hope they play well. They have I'm a very superstitious person, so I'm not going to say anymore. But with Mike, I don't even remember his first name, but the Browns coach is out with COVID. So
yeah, Stefanski.
Yeah, Stefanski. There we go. And he's a great coach. Like the Browns needed him in a big way. Freddie Kitchens was a bum. They got rid of him like that. Stefanski really helped them out. All respect to the Browns this year. They have really played well. Baker's improved a lot. He was a bum last year. This year he's turned around in the second half of the season. First half he was awful too, but second half of the season he turned around, playing a little bit better. Sorry for any Browns fan listening, but yeah. I think that the Browns are a legit team this year. I mean, we almost beat them with Mason Rudolph, but I'm not going to say anything because, like I said, it's ridiculous. But I think that if we play the way we did defensively, and if our offenses came out the way we did, that we have a great chance to win the game.
Yeah, absolutely. So we talked about the Colts game. What happened in the Colts game was very reminiscent of what happened in the Eagles game, where Ben was he was reading the coverage and he was making adjustments. And it seemed like whenever things started to go downhill, he just refused to make adjustments. I don't know what he was doing. I don't know if he wasn't watching enough film or if they were showing new fronts to him late in the season that teams weren't showing early in the season. But literally what happened with the Colts game is the same thing that happened in the Eagles game. And in the Eagles game, we saw what happened. It gave Claypool his best game of the season, 4 touchdowns. And then with the Colts game, he just went off. He was like, listen, I see these safeties doing this. I see these guys blitzing. I'm just going to get it out quick. Let's get it done. And from what I heard, what happened in the locker room that game, Ben was frustrated, obviously, but he didn't like yell or blame anybody. He said, listen, this is our job. But we have the greatest job in the world. So let's just have fun. Like, I guess that was the big issue, I think, with that skid is everybody stopped having fun there because you had the pressure of the undefeated season, which I think everybody was relieved when we lost.
I was relieved. Oh
So
yeah,
was
I was a little upset we lost to a team without a name, but at the end of the day, it's all right.
Hey, I think they're one of the better teams actually in the NFC. They peaked at the right time. Sometimes
Yeah.
that's all you need is the peak at the right time.
Well, they had a little bit of drama with Dwayne Haskins, but besides that,
yeah, obviously. But you've
they
seen it
really
in the
did.
past, like the Steelers in 2005, they peaked at the right time. And then the Giants, the first time they went to the Super Bowl against New England, they peaked at the right time. So I think just looking at the whole NFL and the playoffs, I think Washington is a team to look out for, and I can't wait to see Chase Young sack Tom Brady.
Oh,
That's gonna be
as an
awesome.
Ohio State fan, and him being a former that team up north, I I hope he just blasts him.
Oh, it's gonna be
Like,
great.
all respect to Tom Brady, he's an amazing quarterback. I honestly have respect for him as a person too. Apparently, he is a great person too. So, respect to him. He's one of the best to play the game. But I really hope Chase Young just absolutely comes off that edge and rips that ball and just takes it for a touchdown or something happens.
Yeah,
Because
man.
he's a heck of an athlete. He's a rookie. He has speed. He's probably one of the strongest defensive ends. Kid's a natural freak of an athlete, and
Absolutely.
I think people underestimate him a lot. Didn't think the talent was going to transfer, but he's already shown he made a heck of a play at the goal line on Benny Snell.
Yep.
He literally just stopped him, and he literally barely touched him, and he just made Benny Snell look like a 3-year-old going down. Like it was sad.
Yeah.
The play calling was awful in that drive, but we're not talking about that right now. We're talking about Chase Young and how that kid's a freak of a 22-year-old. Kid's literally younger than you, and he is one of the best athletic. I'll say he's one of the most athletic defensive ends in the NFL right now.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm a betting man, so I'm hoping either FanDuel or DraftKings has a prop bet for him to sack Brady over 1.5 times because I'm taking the over on that one.
Are you? You think 2 sacks?
Oh yeah, I think he's determined. He's like you said, he wants to sack him because he's an ex-Michigan guy, and you have the added bonus of being the greatest quarterback of all time. Who doesn't want to get to that guy as a defender?
I agree 100%. Like he is like Chase Young and the Washington football team have nothing to lose playing this game. They literally have nothing to lose and everything to gain.
They're going balls to the wall, man.
They don't care. They're gonna bring out full blitzes. They have to every play. Like they don't care. They just want to have a chance to hang in with Tampa Bay because that team is very talented. They have AB Gronk. Like they are very skilled team, and they have a great chance to go to the NFC Championship and maybe play the Saints, probably Seahawks. I think either one of those teams are probably going to come out the NFC. But yeah,
I was talking about this with Jordan DeFigio from the Helmet Hair podcast, and she told me, what were we talking about? Oh, we said that surprisingly, Tampa Bay is less consistent on offense than they are on defense.
Wow.
But we saw this past week. Who did they play this past week? I don't even remember. I feel like it wasn't a good team.
I can't remember, but I'm pretty sure they won.
Yeah, they won. So that was the thing is we saw a little bit more consistency with them, even though AB's stealing people's touchdowns and Mike Evans unfortunately had a bad injury. I was going to say gruesome, but it wasn't really gruesome. You just tell something bad happened.
He's out for the playoffs. I'm pretty sure the whole playoffs, no matter what happens.
Yeah, so I think that's where they're going to have most of their issues. And the trend this season has been Tom Brady not playing well in primetime. That's been the trend all year, and they're playing primetime on Saturday night. So
yeah,
that's going to be the game to watch. Obviously, it's in that primetime spot, which is where NBC wants it to be. So
yeah. So what's your prediction for AFC Championship?
So I talked to Jordan about this, and I said the team to come out of the AFC unbiasedly is going to be the Buffalo Bills. I think they're the most complete team. They're peaking at the right time. And, we all know they're going to have to go through KC most likely. And
I don't know about that. I would not be certain. I honestly think it's either gonna be Tennessee or Baltimore. I think that's gonna come out on that side. Kansas City really hasn't looked that great in the past few weeks. Their offense has been very inconsistent. That defense has been consistent, but the offense is very, they are reigning NFL champions and they are a great team. And I don't know. I think that either Tennessee or Baltimore could give them a run in that game. And then, I don't know. The Steelers and Bills, if the Steelers beat the Browns, they play the Bills. And
yeah.
I'm very nervous if they do. It's going to be a heck of a game. I love the Steelers. They're my team. I think they can beat them if they play a complete game. But as we know, we usually don't play a complete game 4 quarters. So, unfortunately, I don't think they're going to win, but we'll see what happens. That's going to be a heck of a game.
It's the playoffs, so you might see something different, I feel like watching the Steelers, most of the time they play way different in the playoffs than they do in the regular season.
They do. That's true. And here's the thing. If they come out with that second half mentality they had against the Colts, against the Bills, the whole game, they have a great chance to win that game if their defense holds.
Yeah.
If the defense holds. And that's a huge if because they ran all over us when we played them last time. They scored, 13 points?
Getting Spillane back is going to help immensely.
Yeah.
And I think it's funny.
Is he back?
He's supposed to be back, yeah.
Awesome.
But I think it's funny. We're talking about this game, and by the time this podcast comes out, it had already happened.
Yeah, both games.
So hopefully we win.
hopefully win the championship.
Yeah. So since we already talked about the AFC, let's talk about the NFC. Who do you think is going to come out of the NFC?
It's going to either be whoever wins the Saints and Seahawks game. That's my prediction.
Okay.
If those two teams meet, depending if the Seahawks get upset in the first round, I don't think they will. That's going to be – I can't remember who they play. They play the Rams. The Rams. They're a great team. They're a great team. Way better than they were last year. I think Jared Goff has shown that he's a decent quarterback. He can throw and he can throw consistently. But
I think
he doesn't have the weapons.
Are you talking about the Seattle-LA game?
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry. I thought you said the Saints were playing.
No, sorry. I did say that originally, and then I changed direction.
I was just making sure.
Sorry, I threw a curveball at you.
Yeah, Saints play the Bears. Rams play the Seahawks. Okay, good.
Saints,
keep going.
I think Saints will absolutely dismantle the Bears. No offense, but the Bears just aren't a strong team on defense.
I think they're strong on defense, not strong enough on offense.
I'm sorry. Yeah, their offense isn't very strong. David Montgomery is a running back. He's decent. He has improved a lot this year. I just don't think that Trubisky is the answer. He's very inconsistent. He has shown signs of being a good quarterback this year, but I don't think he's a complete quarterback. And then you're playing that good of a team with Drew Brees. Kamara, who scored 6 touchdowns on Christmas Day. That was one of the best performances I've ever witnessed. He absolutely dominated that game. I don't even remember who they played that game, but he was just the star of that game.
Yeah.
And he broke so many records that game too, which is crazy. My one friend had him on fantasy, and he lost by 0.8 points because my other friend had Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs, and they put up 82 points combined. And he barely won, which is crazy. But I think that the Saints are going to beat the Seahawks if they play each other. I think they'll go to the championship. I think the Bucs will get beaten by the Packers. I think it'll be Packers-Saints. That's going to be a battle. You got Drew Brees and Aaron Rodgers, 2 amazing quarterbacks, both with 1 Super Bowl. So they both have 1 appearance each too. So if Brees wins, I think Brees will win. That's my opinion. I think Brees will beat Rodgers. It's going to be a heck of a game. It's just what defense will hold.
Yeah.
Honestly, because both offenses are so high powered. Obviously, people are like, well, the Saints just run slants the whole game. Well, it works for them. It doesn't matter what the plays are. If it works for them, it works for them. And obviously, being as good as they are, it works for them. And I think their defense has, Lattimore, Cam Jordan. They have a great few factors in their defense. And same with the Packers with the weapons they have in the Smith brothers and Alexander at corner. I didn't think they have a solid team as well. I think that Saints will come out in the NFC, and AFC is a toss-up for me. I don't even – if the Steelers play like we saw, they could have a run. But, yeah, sorry. I've been taking a lot of your time, so go ahead.
No, you're good. You're good. I agree. I think the Saints will come out. I think it'll be because of their run game.
I agree.
Because they'll most likely play Green Bay. And I don't think Green Bay has a good enough run defense to stop Kamara. I don't think Breeze will have to pass as much either. I mean, he's getting old. He's looked like the oldest out of the top quarterbacks so far.
He also had an injury this year too, as well.
And that's what I mean is I don't think he's fully recovered. I mean,
no, he just wanted to play the last few games.
Yeah, he just wants to play.
In the playoffs, everyone would be like, "Oh, he's like legit, like they're gonna win the Super Bowl." Honestly, I could picture AFC Championship with either the Bills. I honestly, like, I think the Chiefs will lose in the divisional round. That's my hot take. Chiefs lose in the divisional round. Either the Titans or Ravens.
Okay.
So, I mean,
I can see them losing to the Titans. I don't see them losing to the Ravens.
Okay.
But I still think Kansas City is going to be going against Buffalo, and I think Buffalo would win.
Okay. So
but that's my unbiased opinion. Biased opinion is Steelers are going to the Super Bowl.
Oh, yeah. When it comes to TikTok, I'm always biased because I always get some more views, you know?
Exactly.
People are like, oh, it's like, this kid's a Steelers fan. He's going to call this BS. It's kind of like Wee Hoopin. I don't know if you've seen him on TikTok, but he's a huge Ravens fan, and he, like, goes off on how the Ravens are the best team and Lamar's the GOAT and how Lamar's going to carry them to the Super Bowl. And at the end of every video, he goes, I called it. And, like, everyone just – in the comments, there's all these, like, little petty, like, 8-year-olds going at him, like, Lamar's not the GOAT. I'm like, he's joking. He's not for real. He knows that Lamar's not the GOAT. Like, come on now. But it's just funny. It's really funny. And I think, like, biased, I say Steelers Saints. Unbiased, I say Bills Saints, like you said.
Yeah, I'd have to agree. Well, I'm glad we could get to know you a little more. Hopefully your TikTok followers will check out the video and get to know.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I'm always happy to have people on, especially people that I know, because it's a lot easier to talk to you.
That's for sure. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so everybody check out Ben on TikTok. I'll be sure to link his TikTok in the what do you call it? The bio? No. The description of the YouTube video.
There you go.
In the description of the YouTube video. I don't know. You got descriptions, bios, all this crap. But yeah, I'll link him in the description and be sure to check him out. And Ben, thanks for coming on, man. It was fun.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.